We are currently on our way to one of the world's most unique villages that just so happens to literally be floating above the ocean. There's a load of questions I have, from how does this many people fit on this island, why do they live out here, and what's the big deal with the local sport that put this place on the map. After some last minute planning, multiple rides in the back of sketchy taxis, they would take us to our boat, which fingers crossed is still waiting for us and hasn't left yet.
Just got to the pier, but I have no idea how much this boat's going to cost.
With our luck, it just so happened to be leaving right when we got there. So we jumped on and started cruising down the river, which alone was simply amazing.
Just arrived, so much cheaper than I thought. Hello.
So after arriving, I quickly met some friendly locals and started making my way through the village.
I thought it was going to be so much more expensive, but you can come here for like 20, 50 baht.
For a little bit of info on Panyi, it's home to more than 1,900 people and the island is constantly expanding.
It's crazy. It's like a full
I also happened to arrive at low tide, which definitely didn't help the overall smell of this place.
Pretty bad. This place is a full-on maze, but I'm going to try find the football field somewhere near here, I think.
Something this island is known for is the football, and there's actually a team that trains here and goes running on sandbanks nearby to keep fitness levels up with other teams on the mainland.
But you can see how people live here, literally right over the water. So I think I'm in like neighbourhood now where people live. See here, bit of construction going on down there. To get to their house, it's literally a full-on wooden made bridge. I'd say that water that was just coming out might be the bathroom. There's people watching FIFA World Cup on a TV in there. Don't know how they get reception out here. So I've made it to the end of the island. Pretty cool. I think this must be a pretty recent house that got built because they're constantly building new stuff here, and obviously you have to just to extend. You can't build on top of things really. Boats coming in and out all the time as well. But yeah, it's pretty cool seeing all the houses. There is a football field there. Not sure where it is though. So I think that's our next mission, try find the football field, maybe jump in a game if we're lucky. Not gonna lie, I'm a little lost. It's pretty easy. You just look at the big mountain up there. You can get your bearings pretty easily.
But after some intense navigating using Google Maps, we made it.
Fully just floating or on stilts, but full-on football field floating in the river. So sick to see it. There's quite a few other people here. It sounds like a bunch of Russians over here as well, which is interesting. There's actually two as well. So I think the bigger kids at the school use this one, and they have to go swimming in the water to get the ball out when they kick it over the fence. But there's a smaller field up here as well. The goal. So with this island being fully Muslim people, there is a massive mosque, which is pretty amazing how it's just on the top of the water, gold tops and everything like that. So this is like the start of the village as well. So these are some of the earliest houses that were ever built here, right underneath the cliff. And as you can see, the mosque, it's not small. It's just so amazing how they can do that above the water or even just on stilts. This is the main cliff or rock, that base of the village. And as you can see down here, that's the ground. So there's a bit of a slope down to the ocean, which makes this kind of the start of the village. And you can see the old houses. So it's pretty cool seeing the history, like that house that we just saw, which was obviously built pretty recently. And then this one, which is pretty old, as you can tell.
So after exploring the island for a while, we were getting pretty hungry. So we headed back to the cafe that we passed when we arrived.
After we got off the boat, I did notice there was a cafe or restaurant. So many markets and stalls that you can buy stuff here. Obviously being based in the water, there's probably a lot of fishing going on as well. So everywhere you can see smells like fish and lots of netting. People untangling all the nets for the day's fishing. And just down here we can see all the fish that are being kept in different nets for obviously eating later on. Now we're going to go into the restaurant, which is fully above the water as well. It's insane, and you can actually see through the floorboards what it's like.
So after exploring the island and seeing what it had to offer, we got a quick meal, jumped back on the boat and headed back to the mainland, ready for our next adventure.